Hey y'all, Parker here with the No Box Games team. We're going to do a quick playthrough of Dragon vs. Kingdom, which is live on Kickstarter right now. We kind of want to show you how the game plays, give you a little bit more details on the flow of everything so you can see whether or not it would be a game that would be good for you and your play group. So I'm here with Chris Baki and Rocky DeLeon. If you guys want to kind of introduce yourselves and kind of tell the folks who you are, what you do with the team, and then we'll hop into the game.
Yeah, so I'm Chris Baki. It rhymes with hockey. I am the game designer. I'm the guy that's trying to keep the website up to date, and I make the games as fun as I can. And Rocky.
Yeah, so I'm Rocky DeLeon, and I mostly handle all the marketing stuff and the Kickstarter. So if you're interacting on the Kickstarter page or in the comments, you're probably talking to me. And yeah, I mean, you probably know that already because I sign each of my messages with my name. But yeah, so that's kind of what I do here. Try to help the team make the games as interesting and appealing as possible in terms of how we're talking about them online and marketing them. So.
And of course, Parker.
Oh yeah, I draw all the things. That's what I'm here for.
You make us look good, man. You make us look good.
I just make the sheets look nice and pretty. Chris has all of the heavy lifting of actually making the game good. So
yeah, if you guys are appreciating the dragons, that is all Parker. Parker deserves all the props for all the amazing artwork and the dragons. Props, everybody.
Well, I appreciate it. Well, speaking of dragons, let's hop into Tabletop Simulator and do our playthrough.
All right. So this is Dragon versus Kingdom, and in Dragon versus Kingdom, we are all kingdom builders, kingdom leaders. We are all trying to build our kingdom the best way we can. And we're going to be doing this in conjunction with the other kingdoms or the other people that we're playing with. And as we're playing, essentially each person is going to be the dragon on one sheet, and on that sheet they're trying to burninate, that's the technical term, burninate all the things that everyone else has drawn on that sheet. So when you're the kingdom builder, you have three different kinds of buildings that you're going to be drawing. We've got towers, which are basically circles, and these are going to score you points just for drawing them, but you'll also score points for attacking the dragon from your towers. You can also draw squares, which are houses, and the houses score points when they are next to or 1 to 3 spaces from any tower, regardless of who drew it. So this is where kind of the semi-cooperative nature of the game comes into play. As long as people are drawing towers near where you want to put a house, that they will help you score points. So houses want to be near towers to feel safe, and then shops in the triangles want to be near houses. And the shops score more points the more houses that are exactly 1 space away in any direction, orthogonally or diagonally. So towers score points just for being drawn and for attacking the dragon. Houses score points for being near towers, and shops score points for being near houses. Kind of a tiered sort of system there. So to start the game off, let's go ahead and name our dragon. Each person has 1 sheet, and the dragons are here to be colorful and fun, but they're all mechanically identical. They don't change the actual game in any way.
So I've been calling the green girl Ginger Snaps, but I saw somebody on our Kickstarter page recommend the name Avocado, which I absolutely fell in love with. So this is going to be Avocado
Nice.
now.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Okay, so again, just name your dragon whatever you want, and there's going to be a fun little spot in the lower right corner of each map sheet to name your dragon. And obviously this is going to be a bit easier. In the real world, there's plenty of room here. We're not using... you're going to use your normal hand and your normal handwriting for that. So it looks like You've got Avocado, you've got Blue Boy, and I've just named him Ruby.
Yeah.
He's kind of a fun ruby color.
Yeah, this is the joy of
Yes.
playing on tabletop simulators. We all write like we're in kindergarten.
Exactly.
Obviously, this game runs a lot smoother in person, but you work with what you got.
Exactly. So if you're watching, as you're watching this, you'll note that there's these white boxes here. These are mainly just meant to help us pass the sheets as easily and as simply as possible in this format. In the real world, you just take your map sheet and you just kind of nudge it to the player on your left. And when everyone's nudged their sheet, you'll just take the sheet from the player on your right, and that keeps everyone on the same pace as you're playing. In TTS, it's a bit hard to nudge or to see body language. So when you put your sheet in the white box here, that's my way of saying I'm done, I'm ready to pass it on to you. So now we can take these sheets and bring them into our own sort of colored box area, and we're ready to start playing. So on your turn, as a leader, you have two actions. You may draw two buildings, or you may fight the dragon from one of your towers. We can't do that yet because for the first round, we don't even know where the dragon's coming from. So for this first round, we're just going to be drawing buildings. But we know that the dragon can come from any of the corners. So we don't want to put our buildings too close to a corner, otherwise the dragon will just make a beeline for them and destroy them really quickly. So it's usually best play to draw your buildings towards the center of the map.
Okay. So one quick question for the audience. When are the dragons going to appear? So right now we're drawing on somebody else's sheet as the builder.
Yeah. So so when you see your own dragon and your own name, that's the sheet where you are the dragon. If you don't see that, you are a kingdom builder or a kingdom leader, and that's where you're drawing the buildings to score points. The first time the sheet where you're the dragon comes back around to you, that's where you'll put a star in any corner to show where your dragon is starting from. So right now we don't know where the dragon's going to appear, so that's where you'll generally want to be towards the center of the map.
Gotcha.
As you're drawing buildings, you cannot draw buildings on a lake, but the dragons can move through or stop on the lake. So they give the dragons a slight movement advantage.
Awesome. All right. Well, let's go ahead and get started drawing some buildings then. You said we can do 2 per turn, or 2 actions per turn.
2 buildings, yeah, 2 buildings per turn. And as soon as you finish drawing a building, you'll score points for them in some way. You'll score 2 points just for drawing a tower, and this is where your score sheet will come into play. Feel free to use tally marks or dots or just write numerals, whatever boats your float. What matters here is that you're always making your marks on your map sheet and then scoring your points on your personal score sheet. The map sheets will rotate around the table. Your score sheet stays in front of you at all times.
Gotcha. Perfect.
Okay. So Parker, you've drawn a couple of towers, and you scored 2 points per tower. So you've already scored 4 points. Well done.
And I did similar on my end.
Perfect.
Yeah, it makes sense on the first turn. Start building up those defenses.
Yeah. And obviously this is where experienced players might go, okay, the first couple of turns, now that people have drawn some towers, I might begin looking at drawing some houses near those towers to score some more points. So
You're saying exactly what I'm thinking.
don't know what you're talking about. This is normal play. This is what we always do.
We're going over some of that really advanced strategy.
Right. Yeah, because you score for the houses for your towers and your opponent's towers, so that's a pretty nice little.
Yeah, exactly. Any tower that's 1, 2, or 3 spaces away in any direction, orthogonally or diagonally. So this is again kind of the semi-co-op part. You're all building a kingdom, And this is why you're kind of scoring points off of each other by helping each other a little bit. When it comes to the shops, it's the same thing. You're just scoring points for any house that's exactly one space away. And again, it doesn't matter who drew those houses. When it comes to attacking, you can only attack from your towers, and we'll get into that in a couple minutes once we know where the dragon's coming from.
So has anyone built? So you just built a house. Yeah, I built
Yeah, I
houses
built
on
a
mine. So
tower
yeah,
and a house. Yeah.
to kind of give an idea of like how far that range is, because it goes pretty far. When you're building
Oh yeah,
a
with the
house.
houses. It's
So
true.
it's like, because it's going to end up being 3 squares in any direction, right? So that's like, if we were to draw it out, let's see, that's 1, 2, 3. That's a pretty significant. That would be all the way out. Oh, and I made a big. Is it something like? Oh, it's even taller than that.
Yeah,
it's
even bigger than that.
Yeah, it's even bigger than that. Let me do. What is it like here?
Yeah, that's about right. Yeah, and part of that is obviously the dragon will begin destroying things as they play, but what happens is as soon as you draw the house or the tower or the shop, you score those points, and even if the dragon destroys it later, those points aren't taken away from you. The dragon scores points for destroying things, you score points for building things, and no points are ever subtracted from folks.
Nice.
Right, they've got good insurance here. Fire insurance.
And so here, I'd score, right now I just built this tower, so that's 2 points for that, and then I scored 3 points for the house because I have 3 towers within range. Yeah.
Exactly.
Let me score those up here. So it's 2 for the tower, 1, 2, and then 3 for the house. There we go. Cool. And let me unlock and pass my sheet. Yeah, locking and unlocking isn't something you'll have to do in real life unless you have some sort of magnetic table and magnetic paper.
Exactly. Okay, so our own sheets have returned to us. So we are now the dragon, and we know this because I wrote the name Ruby on my sheet here. So as the dragon, you are now going to just star one of the corners to show where you're going to start from, and then you're going to have 2 actions. As one action, you can move up to 3 spaces, again orthogonally or diagonally. You may attack the buildings or just the land in general, and when you choose to do that, you're going to roll any 6-sided die you have, and you're basically rolling in, then cutting in half. So a 1 or a 2 lets you attack 1 space in a straight line. A 3 or a 4 lets you attack 2 spaces in a straight line. And a 5 or 6 lets you attack up to 3 spaces in a straight line. When you attack a location, you're literally just crossing it out with your marker or your pen. And if you cross out an empty space, it won't score you any points, but it does make it a little bit harder for other folks to build on that space. You cannot build on a space that's been attacked or destroyed by the dragon.
Gotcha.
And it could also potentially, it wouldn't, as the dragon, it wouldn't stop you from moving through that space, but it would hurt you if you decided to move through, like, literally scorched earth.
Exactly. So, as a dragon, you do breathe fire, but you're not impervious to fire. So, if you move on to a space that you've already, killed with fire or burninated, that will cost you 1 of your hearts. You start with 12 hearts, and the game ends when either a dragon has destroyed the correct number of things, usually 8 buildings in our 3-player game, or has lost all 12 of their hearts. Either way, the game ends, and we'll finish out that turn, and then the game ends.
Sweet.
So,
awesome. Well, I'm going to just zoom in on your sheet. If you just want to run through your dragon turn, and then I'll hop over to my sheets and do mine, just for the viewers to see a couple of examples.
Awesome. So I chose this one because I thought it was going to be pretty close. I'm actually going to retcon that. I'm going to move over here. I'm going to pretend my dragon started over here instead.
Oh, you're a woodland dragon.
I'm a woodland dragon, yeah. So again, I can move up to 3 spaces as one action, and then I can attack. You can also choose as one action to move 1 space and attack from 1 space. It's kind of a hit and run sort of move there. So that's exactly what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to move 1, 2, 3 spaces. And when I'm moving, I'm basically just moving from the center of 1 square to the center of an adjacent square. There's kind of a dot in the middle of each square to help you kind of know where to draw. But so now my dragon is here after moving for the first time. And I'm going to attack. I'm going to use that hit and run attack. So I'm going to move 1 and attack 1 in either order that I like. So I'm going to attack by crossing out this house, and then I'm going to move 1. Let's say I'm going to go up here. Okay.
Sweet.
So I'll score points from attacking this house by writing in the number of points I score down at the bottom here. And just again, a shout out to Parker here for adding these little fun touches here. These are the destroyed buildings that the dragon leaves behind. So when you destroy a tower, you'll score 2 points. When you destroy a house, it's worth 3 points for the dragon. And a shop is worth 5 points.
Ooh.
So I destroyed a house, I'll write in the number 3 into one of the stars. And again, this fun artwork here just shows the destroyed husk of the building that I just
Yes,
destroyed.
so such fun desolation.
What is the game can you have fun destroying things, right?
All right, Rocky, what you got? I'm over here on your sheet
on
now.
my end, I kind of had already started to do my move because I
Sure.
just, I didn't want to like do it from the beginning. But yeah, so what I did was I picked my corner over here in the mountains, and then I guess something to touch on there, something I didn't even realize until the last time we played, was that each corner of the map has bottom left corner is like mountains, top left is the forest, top right is the ocean, and then bottom right is the desert. So that's kind of a cute little touch that even me, I didn't initially notice, but it's just a really nice touch there.
Yeah, doesn't do anything for the gameplay, but it lets you add a little bit of story to it. Yeah, a little bit of extra story. Yeah.
So what I'm gonna do now is I did my first move, so I moved the 3 spaces, and then now I'm just gonna try to destroy this tower that's closest to me. So that means I need to roll. It's half, right? So I need to roll at least a 3.
Half the die roll and round up. So you need a 3 or higher.
Oh,
okay. And I did it. And I did it.
But you'll still destroy a space by crossing it out.
That's something I hadn't realized. Okay, that's interesting.
Yeah. So these crossed out spaces again, no one can build on those spaces because you've destroyed them. You've laid waste to them. And as the dragon, if you want to move through this space, you can, but it's going to cost you 1 health every time you move through a destroyed space. So you're disincentivized to do so. You still can. And part of the design reason for that, in case you're curious, I wanted you to not feel like you could just run rampant through the town. So you kind of have to think of it as more of a strafing run, or kind of going around the town, breathing fire in. The fire will still hurt you, so.
And it also gives like a little bit of that like risk reward sort of thing. Like right here, I hadn't initially thought of that, but I'm, by doing what I did, is like there's a little bit of that risk of like, oh, I might not hit, which I didn't, and so now, next turn or whatever, I couldn't get as close. I couldn't say, oh, I'm just going to move into that space. I mean, I could, but I'd lose health, right? So there's a little bit of that of like, okay, this tower or whatever object I'm trying to destroy is so far away, I could burn all the spaces up to it, but that might restrict my movement a little bit more than I'd like. So, it like whether that's a good decision or a bad decision, like as the player, you kind of just have to figure that out because I think there's some benefits of like, yeah, now nobody could build there.
Yeah.
But now, if I wanted to move into that space, which could line me up for something cool, I'd have to take a damage. So,
yeah, especially in a higher player count too. If you're playing with 5 players, like destroying any spaces in general is going to severely limit the amount of real estate for folks because there's going to be so many more buildings being plopped down. So. Cool.
Okay, Parker, so you moved.
Yeah, so Avocado is starting in the desert. So I'm coming on up here. I'm going to roll my dice to breathe some fire. Hoping for a 5 or a 6. Ooh, a 5. There we go.
Got it.
Rolling hot. So that means I can destroy 3 spaces in a straight line. I'm going to do that blank space. Hit this tower. And hit this house.
Nice. And in terms of order of operations, a quick note for the watchers at home: you get to roll first and then decide the direction. You do not have to decide direction and then roll for it. So if there's 2 ways you can possibly attack, you get to roll first and then decide in which straight line you want to cross stuff out.
That's a good point. Yep.
Another thing I think is worth noting, this is something that I hadn't initially thought of, is on Parker's sheet. Whenever you're moving the 3 spaces as the dragon, you can move those, like, they're in a straight line, but you can move, like Parker, he moved 2 up and then 1 diagonal, right?
Yeah,
so
totally
you have 3 moves, 3 spaces to move in any direction.
Yep.
Exactly.
Versus, like, just diagonal, or you don't have to spend all your spaces just going one specific direction.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, the attacking is in a straight line. The movement is any way you like.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Cool.
Okay,
so we're back as city builders. Chris, I'm going to come back over to your sheet since it looks like you're lined up for an attack. If you want to take one.
I've totally got to take out Blue Boy here.
All right. So if you want to demonstrate that for us, that'd be great.
No.
Sure. I'll definitely try.
He's innocent.
Again, So, as your 2 actions, if you want, you can fight or build. And for the first round, you saw us building. From the second round on, if you still have a tower that survived, you may fight from your tower or attack from your tower. If you choose to attack, you must do all of your attacking actions or fighting actions first, and then you can go to building. You cannot build and then fight. The game really breaks if you do that. So it's always fight first, then build. So you can fight from each tower once per turn. So I could fight from this tower, and in order to do damage to the dragon, I just need to equal or be higher. My die roll needs to be equal or higher than the distance between the tower and where the dragon currently is. So this tower here is 2 spaces away from the dragon's current location. So I just need to roll a 2 or higher. If the die roll equals the distance, I'll do 1 damage. If it's greater than the distance, I'll do 2 damage. This tower up here is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 spaces away. So from this tower, if I roll a 4, I'll do 1 damage. If I roll a 5 or a 6, I'll do 2 damage instead. I've only got 2 actions, though. So I could fight from both of these locations, or I could fight once and build once. Because this is a pretty sure bet, I'm going to roll for this one here. And let's just hope for a 3, 4, 5, 6.
There you go.
Okay. So I attack the dragon from the tower, and I do 2 damage because the roll was greater than the distance. And each part of damage you do, you're going to score 3 points. So I just scored 6 points for that first action. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then I can build something. I'm going to build a house. Let's say right here. I'll score 3 more points for that because there are 3 towers.
Yeah, and so that does make sense to kind of weigh the risk and reward, because you could technically have shot from this one, but yeah, you're right. If you had gotten a 4, it would only be 1 damage, which would equal the same of if you had built a house. So you'd really only be gaining additional points if you rolled that 5 or a 6. So it is kind of risky to shoot from far away instead of building.
Yeah.
So.
What's everyone else doing?
All right, so I'm gonna hop over to my sheet.
Probably.
Let's see. Ooh, I've got a
Yeah, Rocky. It's not personal. It's just dragon business.
right.
Okay,
Oh.
we'll see how it is when I get back. When we get back to you.
Exactly.
Sweet. All right, so I'm gonna take a shot at Ruby here. Let's see. I'm gonna shoot from this first one. 1, 2, 3 spaces. Yeah, that's a pretty good chance. There we go.
Nice.
All right. So that is 2 damage.
Ow! Ow!
Let's see. How far is this other one?
That's-
1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's the same kind of cautious thing that we were just talking about on Chris's. I'm gonna go for it. I'm gonna try shooting him again.
And Yeah, because if you get it, that's a pretty powerful. You're able to do 6 damage. You would end up doing what? That's 12, right? If you end up.
With well, that's what I get. But
Now you still score 6 points.
yeah, so that's
for
still
your
pretty solid.
towers there. Yeah.
All right. And Rocky, have you shot at Avocado?
No, I'm not fighting. I'm just building.
Oh, thank you. What a sweet gentleman.
Aw.
I mean, it was far. It was my
Yeah.
closest tower was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So
Oh, that's fair.
There wasn't really a point.
Yeah, and this is something you might see on like your second play or whatever. As the dragon, you want to be conscious of where you end your turn, because you're there until the heat comes back around to you. So you're kind of a static thing that other
Yeah.
players can take pot shots at. So
You're
Yeah.
sitting,
You may-
a sitting duck, sitting
Exactly.
dragon.
you may or may not want to be close to the towers. If you can destroy them, you absolutely want to. They're worth the fewest points to you as a dragon. The shops are worth the most points, but the towers are the only ones that can attack you. So when is it a good time to go after a tower versus when's a good time to take out a shop?
Yeah, I really like that that balance between, like, the towers are going to be the most detrimental to you as the dragon, but destroying the shops and the houses are going to be that much more beneficial for you. So it's a nice nice decision space of what you go after.
Exactly. Now, and one other note: it's a kingdom builder. If a building has been destroyed, it cannot help you score points. So, so any tower or house that's been destroyed, that can't help you score points for a house or a shop later on down the line. It's only the non-destroyed buildings that help you score points.
And I'm gonna go for you, Chris.
No!
Yeah, got my tower real close. I'm pretty sure you're gonna get hit. So let's see. God, no!
Oh,
It worked out.
You miss?
wow.
No, I still got you. It's how far away were you? You're just 2, so I rolled a 4. So it all worked out. But I wish there was a little bit of a better way to roll here in Tabletop Simulator, because it's like, I think if I would have let it, I was trying to keep tapping the roll button, and I ended up it looked like it was going to be a 6, and I was already frantically tapping the roll button, and it went to something else. It would have been funny if it turned into a 1 or something.
Yeah, and again, this is not one of those problems you're going to have at home. You just roll any standard issue D6 and you're going to be fine here. It's just the nature of Tabletop Simulator. You have to kind of spam R to get a fair sort of roll. I've got them a little bit bouncier for reasons, but
Let's see. So that's 6, right? So I did 2 damage. So there's potential to earn 12 points, right, in a turn if you end up attacking and hitting.
And hitting for 2 from each of your towers, yeah. And obviously that does mean you have to have 2 towers that have survived, and you're choosing to fight for your whole turn. You're not building anything new.
Yeah.
So there's kind of an opportunity cost there as well.
And I am going to, because that was my first move, and so yeah, my second move I'm going to build. So that's 3.
Nice. 3.
All right, dragon time.
All right, and again, you know it's your turn to be the dragon because you'll see your name on it. What usually helps is if you make sure that each player has the marker that matches their dragon color. That's usually the easiest way to do this. And we've carefully chosen like really common colors of markers. So red, green, blue, black, and so on. So it usually that's the best way to do it. It's not required, but it really does help if everyone has a unique colored marker. Don't let everyone have just black.
Yeah. I mean, right? Could you even play it in that way? I'm trying to think.
No, you'd have to have different colors. They just don't have to match the dragon. Yeah,
they just don't have to match the dragon.
Yeah, they don't have to match the dragon, but but bonus points just to make it easier and simpler to play the game. But everyone does have to have a uniquely colored marker. If you absolutely can't do that, then you'll want to use like dots or dashes or some other sort of border so you can tell them apart. That's going to make the game a lot harder to play. So try to make sure every player has a uniquely colored marker or pen or pencil or something like that.
Cool.
Yeah, like you had kind of mentioned, we chose colors of that match like the common. I think if you buy like one of those Expo, just the standard pack that comes with like 8 or something,
exactly,
it should include all the colors that we're using for the different dragons.
Exactly. Okay, so I can see that both of you have attacked me and hurt me.
Sorry.
I got it. No, you are not sorry. Don't lie. I have to start taking some of you guys out here. So I'm gonna move and then take this tower out. Again, this is the move 1, attack 1, kind of a hit and run sort of thing that I'm doing. And I'm going to do that again, actually.
Yes, move closer to my towers.
Yes, absolutely.
Nice. Rocky, did you already do your move?
Yes, I moved, and then I just rolled my attack right now for the buildings that are in front of me.
Nice.
So 3. That means I'm doing
2 attack.
Two spaces.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So let's cross those out.
Nice.
Not my tower.
Cool.
What a
All right, let's see. What's Avocado got going on?
Now, Rocky, I'm not saying we need to team up to take down Avocado, but Avocado has a full set of health right now.
That's true.
Well,
that's why I built towers. Like,
exactly.
Look at what I did with my towers. This is I'm giving away some of my strategy here. But if you look at where I built my towers, I built them close to things that were already destroyed. That I thought Parker would have to get into kind of a strange position to hit. Like, granted,
let's see.
He can make a move to do that, but that was some of my thinking. Like, hey, he just destroyed a tower there. Let me,
Nice.
See, he already did find the space that...
You can't confuse Avocado that easily. Her brain may be the size of an avocado, but she sees a trap when she can recognize a trap. All right, yeah. So I'm gonna breathe fire this way. See if I can't kill these things. I did.
Recognize a trap when I tell you exactly. What
Yeah, for sure. Oh, well, I didn't get all of them, so let's see. Yeah, my other instinct was going to be to kind of jump in here and try to, like, go from the inside, but that seemed like a pretty bad choice. So let's see, what did I destroy? A tower? Okay. Oh, Alright, so back as city builders. And so, just to point out, having to attack before building, I know it saves a couple of different things, like with the design space, but the main thing that sticks out to me is I can't just plop a tower right here and immediately shoot the dragon. I have to attack with an existing tower if I'm going to.
Exactly.
So it keeps you from, like, one-shotting, essentially.
Exactly. Thematically speaking, it takes time to build a tower, but in playtesting, the game kind of broke if you were able to build a tower anywhere you want and then immediately fight from it. Even if the dragon was immediately able to destroy it, it still did a lot of damage really fast. So it's always fight first, then build.
Well, and especially because if you build a tower that's 2 points and then immediately attack it and most likely get 2 health, like, that's 8 points in a single turn. So that's a bit much. Did you miss?
Okay, I missed.
Look how big he is, though. He's huge.
My archers just couldn't get the range. So again, you can only fight once per tower. So I've only got the one tower because he destroyed my other tower. So now I need to build. And where do I want to build? I'm going to try something a little off the wall here.
Okay, so that is equal to, so 1 damage. Alright, Guess it's time for another tower? That really is the only one that makes sense.
You just attack.
Yeah, I attacked and got 1 hit.
And then now you're building.
Yeah, so I'm going to build a single tower.
Yeah, and I don't think you were seeing what was going on over here, but yeah, Avocado has taken its first damage.
Whoa. Oh, no.
I attacked with the tower that you couldn't kill.
Oh, I was so close, too.
Yeah, so attacked with that one.
Shoot.
And rolled a 3, so that matches the distance
Yeah.
of how far away you were. And then, I was thinking.
I was wondering, I was like, are you going to be super aggressive, or?
Roll a 4. Eesh. I don't know.
Can never roll a 4 when you absolutely want to, eh?
Yeah, when you have to, it never pops
I think
up.
I'm gonna do it because if it happens, then it's awesome, and if it doesn't happen, it's whatever.
You'll just be sad. It's fine.
4, 5, or 6.
Oh.
No! The 6 was right there. All right, so nothing.
A real dice would never betray you, I'm sure.
Yeah, that wouldn't happen.
That's just tabletop simulator.
These dice are loaded or something.
Oh, Chris did not take my spot. I was really worried you were gonna steal my little spot here. So I set up last turn. I put this house here so that I can now play another house. So let's see.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Yeah,
Nice.
so 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm gonna be out
I
of
was
range
so
of that.
obsessed with trying to do damage to Blue Boy, I missed it.
Yeah. So I'm going to drop a house here, which will score me. So I'm only in range of 2 towers, so I'll get 2 points for that house. But I am now going to build a shop, which is hard to draw on Tabletop Simulator. But I'm gonna.
Okay, this is just a triangle, Parker. Drawing a triangle is not that hard.
I'm not very good at drawing, guys. So with my triangle here, I've got 3 houses
Wow.
that are adjacent,
Wow.
which means I get a total of 6 points. Yep.
Nice.
Is that the most that we've ever, at least us all playing together? I
You
wonder
could
if
do-
that's the most we've got.
It's the most we've had on our playtest. You can definitely get to 4 or more houses around. The thing is that it definitely requires a bit more setup. It's more of a
It's
high
tough.
risk, high reward sort
Yeah.
of play. But I also was able to draw a house and then draw a shop.
Ooh.
That shop has 3 houses around it.
Oh, okay. Well, you're not making me feel like I'm not as special as I thought I was.
Well, at the same time, yeah. So this is one of those more advanced strategies. When you are putting all these things together, you're making nice little clusters. You're making nice little neighborhoods. That's going to make the dragon go, that's
Tasty.
a place I've got to attack. So
That's fair.
this is one of those. Again, this is one of those high risk, high reward plays. You are scoring points for drawing and building your kingdom, but you're also setting yourself up to potentially be attacked by the dragon. And only the towers can fight back. Your houses and your shops will score you points, but they won't be
Yeah.
able to do any damage to the dragon. So while I
Yeah.
scored a few number of points this turn, I didn't draw any new towers.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that of like, yeah, you know, building the houses set you up for, you know, the shops, but they don't set you up for doing any damage.
Right.
Well,
and also,
I did a
like,
similar move to all of y'all. I built one house, and I put it. I thought this was clever. Again, I'm revealing some of my strategy, but I thought this was clever, kind of putting it in this like, you know, area
Yeah.
that, like the dragon. Like, yeah, you can go back there, but it's going to be a little tricky because I feel like the dragon is more incentivized to keep moving. You know, one, you can't go back on your path at all,
Correct.
but you also wouldn't necessarily, you know, wrap around. You know, it seems more like a way straight. So
Exactly.
put the house there and then put the shop there, so that scores me not as much as y'all, but what is that? 3 points for two houses, right? Or this is within
Yep.
the square, right? Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
So let me get those points down.
So two non-destroyed houses that are exactly one space away from your new shop there, and that is an important rule to follow here. As the dragon, you cannot go back on your own path. You may go through destroyed spaces at the cost of 1 health, and you can always go through the lakes or empty spaces as part of your normal movement. But you cannot double back in your own path.
Ooh, that's actually an interesting question. So, Chris, over on my sheet, so I would not be able to move backwards. Would I be able to move to this space and then here and here? Oh wait, I only get to move 3 spaces. But yeah, you can cross over it. You just can't go back into a specific spot you've been in.
That's correct. You may
Okay,
cross
I
over the
gotcha.
path with no penalty, but obviously, if you were here and then you went southeast and then southwest, you would lose what.
Yeah, I would get a little splinter.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah. So your better bet might be to either go kind of around north and then west,
Yeah.
but
That'll take longer though.
yeah.
So, all right, let's see. I think. Oh gosh, zoomed in too far.
Back-
And dragon time again.
Back to being a dragon, exactly.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna take a damage to move through this destroyed tower, and I'll move 1 more space. So the damage that I take for stepping on a broken tower does not give anybody else points. It's just a damage against me.
Correct.
Cool. So I'm gonna roll to try to burn down that juicy shop. Come on, 5 or 6. Ooh, all right. There we go.
Come on.
I take it you did
Come on,
not
I
roll
make
a 6.
So I make games so I can win them, man.
Oh, do I get extra points for destroying one of each type of building?
No. But obviously the tower, obviously, so the towers prevent other people from doing damage to you, and the shops are worth the most points. So you don't get special points for that, but it's a nice little minor achievement.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still, what is that?
Unlocked.
Yeah. Was that 10 points still for destroying one of each of them?
Exactly. Yeah, and I'm not bitter here, but if I had rolled a 5 or a 6, I would have destroyed a tower, a house, and a shop all in the same turn.
Well,
I
we
rolled a 2,
can't
which
all
only gave
get
me-
prestige. So sorry.
I know. Again, I'm not bitter about losing at my own game or whatever.
Sorry, I'm just giving my dragon a medal up here. She gets some little sparkles. Achievement unlocked.
Let's see. On my end, there's kind of 2 ways I can go about this. I think I'll just get the 2, 3. So yeah, I moved 1, and I was trying to figure out if I wanted to do my move 1 and then guaranteed hit, or if I wanted to. I think I'll do that. So I'll move 1 and then destroy that. So that gives me 2 points. And then now my other move. It's like I either move away or
I don't know. I think either way you're moving, you're going to be pretty
Yeah,
equal distance between these guys.
yeah, I'm pretty. I feel like I need to get closer over there. Alright, I think I'll just go. Yeah. So then for my next move, I'll just go. I'll just go here.
Seems like a good move.
That's kind of all I feel like I could do.
Now, in the advanced rules, Chris, you're going to have it where the dragons have special powers, and like Blue Boy, he can, if he stops in a lake, he regenerates a health or something. That'd be pretty cool.
Oh yeah,
Just always forward thinking. Yeah.
The second edition of the rules, exactly.
Right.
Yeah, no, there's no advanced rules right now, but by all means, feel free to play with your own house rules, and if you come up with something really cool, share it. Please share it in the Kickstarter comments for others to enjoy, or log on to your account on Board Game Geek and propose your house rules there. I love seeing the different ways that people play our games. I've heard some really cool things from our very first game, Spies, and I love hearing just the different ways people engage and interact with their games.
All right, back to city building. Oh, Chris, why did Ruby not see this tower here? Are we just?
I saw it, but I saw this nice line of things here, and I thought if I could roll at least a 5 or a 6, I get 3 things and 10 points.
I see that did not happen, though.
I saw the tower. Yes, this is the high risk, high reward play that didn't work out for you. That's why I was like, oh, when I rolled a 2. So yeah.
Well, yeah.
So any tower that's right next to a dragon, it's basically guaranteed to damage. But only if it's any consolation to me, it's only going to be that one tower, and it's only going to be 2 damage. You
that's
don't have
fair.
another tower out there. So that's my one consolation for the whole thing, and I now can easily take this one out on my next turn when I have the dragon. And I'm not thinking it's going to happen, but that's definitely going to happen. So, okay. And Blue Boy, I'm almost sorry, but this is going to you're going to have to go away now. This one's 3 spaces away.
No.
Okay, exactly 3 spaces, so I'll do 1 damage.
Did you get him?
4 spaces, I need a 4, 5, or 6.
There it is.
Come on, what the heck? 4 gives me 1 space, so that was 2 damage. 1.
Once you're done scoring, I have a quick question because I saw
Sure, go
something
ahead.
and I'm trying to figure it out. And maybe I was just missing it because I know y'all were doing stuff on y'all's sheets over there. What happened on Ruby's sheet and on Avocado's sheet where there is a red X on Ruby for a heart damage and
That's because I had to. So I was here, and when I was the dragon, I decided.
I got you.
Yeah,
you.
he stepped on something.
Yeah, because I was trying to think. I was like, huh? I was like, how did that happen? Okay, and
What
just
is
to let you know,
what is
Parker,
what is this? What is going on here? How dare you disgrace
I gave you
Avocado?
a mustache and a unicorn horn.
Man, this
and
ain't Monopoly.
and a monocle.
I'm the Monopoly man, apparently.
But yeah, so Parker, I rolled a 5 from my tower right
Oh,
here.
no.
So I'm doing two damage.
Brutal.
And 6 points.
Nice.
Are we in like 5th grade? Like
Yes.
drawing monocles?
He's just jealous of my prestige sparkles that I unlocked when I destroyed one of each
Yeah.
building.
When
It's okay to be jealous.
Sparkles, I was like, I need a draw on this.
This is the dangers of the pass and play games.
You're gonna return with a bunch of those like cool S's on your sheet or something. I don't know if you remember those from.
Oh, middle school, man.
Yeah, I think Parker would.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying this goes well with stickers, but if you're the sort that like to, I don't know, draw monocles and mustaches on your dragons, stickers for the win.
Mhm.
Let's see, and I still need a build. So.
And speaking of silly S's that you draw in middle school, this game is actually fantastic in like a classroom setting because like everybody is always taking their turn. It's teaching kids strategic planning. You've got a lot of point salad stuff with the different building types, and you get to destroy stuff as a dragon. So like it gets that little bit of aggression out in case it's
Exactly.
raining and you can't go to recess.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
And you'll note we all have one d6 in front of us. If everyone can have one d6, that's great. But you really only need one 6-sided die per game. If each person has their own, that's great. That just makes things a bit faster. And if you're playing in the classroom, yeah, just split the kids up into groups of 5, and make sure they all have a sheet, ideally with their own dragon, and off you go. Yeah, it's a great fun time there.
yeah, I've got a lot of friends who do homeschooling and stuff, and these games would be perfect for that sort of setting.
Nice.
Nice extracurricular sort of stuff.
Where do I want to shoot this dragon? I've got to get this dragon, man. He's only 3 spaces away.
You know,
My dice and I are not on speaking terms right now.
no, don't shoot her. It's not even the same dragon. Look, she's got a little disguise.
You're like, I don't know.
Who is this dragon?
Yeah. I mean, I've predominantly been going after Blue Boy here, but I feel like I've got to at least try to go after Avocado. So, all right, I'm gonna do it. You're 3 spaces away.
No.
Do we have 4, 5, or 6?
Ooh, there's that 6. Well done.
Finally. And second action. Let's build something. Yeah, let's build a
And so, if you end up building a house that has no towers near it, you won't score any points, right?
Correct. It's still a valid play,
Yeah.
and you might be
for sure.
doing that to set yourself up
Yes.
for a
Correct.
shop. But if there are no standing towers within 3 spaces, it just won't score you any points.
Gotcha. Perfect. Yeah. I'm not saying that's what I just did this turn, but
It's totally what you
I'm just gonna be real quiet about my building turns from now on.
know.
No reason.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Parker's
if-
learned the more he brags about his building, the more we all go, oh, we gotta get it.
All right. Let's look at this.
Yeah, if I wouldn't have been telling y'all my strategy this whole time, then maybe I could win. Who knows?
Oh, whatever. All right, it's time to do a little hit and run
I
action.
have nothing. Oh, I was like, why do I have nothing on this sheet? It's the dragon sheet. That makes sense. Okay. How do I burn it all down?
Yeah, and again, for those watching along at home, the game ends when any dragon either has 0 health, no hearts remaining, or any dragon has destroyed the correct number of buildings according to the number of players. In a 2 or 3 player game, that's 8 of the buildings. In a 4 player game, that's 9. In a 5 player game, that's 10. And you are always allowed to destroy up to 10 buildings regardless of player count. So even though the game will end when you get to 8, if you happen to destroy 10, you'll get to score all of those. You won't score anything past the 10th, just the 10 that get marked in the stars.
Ooh. I'm actually going to trigger the end game then.
No.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah. So let's hop over to Chris's sheet, see what he's doing.
yeah, so I did a hit and run to take out Parker's tower. Then I moved on to here, and I took 1 damage for that. So I'm gonna have 1 roll here, and I'm gonna try to go for as many of these because Rocky, I really appreciate you just lining your houses and your shops up just for me. So I want like a 5 or a 6 now.
Ooh.
No.
Nice.
Bye,
Got it when it
house.
counts. There you go.
Bye shop. Bye house.
Oh, so you're technically triggering the end game as well.
I did just as well. So this is the last
Very
turn of the
nice.
game. So we'll finish out this turn and then we'll go to scoring.
All right, Rocky, do you want to go ahead and take your turn, and then I'll hop over to Avocado?
Yeah.
See what Blue Boy's got.
I'm trying to- on my screen, I was over there on Chris's side. Keeps zooming in and out for some reason. Yeah. So what I did is I moved here, and then
Oh, you
I
nailed both of my
moved-
shops.
Yeah,
Nice, man.
Shops, so
Oh.
that gives me.
10 points just from
Yeah,
that. Well
but I'm
done.
pretty far behind in terms of dragon stuff. I don't know. I feel like I didn't score that well. Another cool thing, which I'm sure y'all have been seeing this whole time, but yeah, right here we have the, where it shows just how everything scores. So if you're ever wondering, like, oh, hey, I just destroyed that tower, how many points is it? That's 2, the house is 3, and the shops are 5. So
Yeah,
so-
Chris.
And if you're
Chris has done a really good job with like creating these hieroglyphics. Like I've made them like look pretty visually, but like Chris has taken all of these symbols and everything and refined them to make them as easy to understand as possible. They're a little hard to grok on your first game, but I think Chris, you've got like a reference sheet as
Yeah,
well. Is that right?
Yeah. So a lot of the symbology here is classic sort of Euro language inspired, and the last page of the rulebook is going to be like a text-based explanation or interpretation of what you're seeing here. So, and this will actually be true of any of the languages that we're offering. With the translators, they're going to be translating that text-based description as the last page. So in some games you have like a reference card or a cheat sheet. The last page of the rulebook is basically going to be one big cheat sheet to score sheet. So regardless of what language you speak, you're going to get to make sure. I want to make sure that you can always understand what's happening in the game.
Yeah, that's a really great point. Like you've got this very language independent. Like you don't have to
Exactly.
know any specific language to read this. That is one of the great things about the print and play community is you have that availability to do those community translations, so that you can just continue to offer it to as many people as you can.
And we're going to have a ton of languages for this game, just like we've tried to do with as many of our games as we can.
Mhm.
But that's the end of the game.
Oh well, let me take my turn real quick. Let's see.
Go
All
ahead,
right.
hold on.
All right.
Quickly.
Yeah.
Let's see. All right.
The houses
So
are burning.
right.
Oh, I see. You put glasses. You took off the
Yeah.
monocle and
Deal with it.
I don't like that.
All right. So I'm going to do a hit and run. So I'm going to jump up right here and destroy this tower for 2 points. Then I'm going to breathe some fire, hopefully in this direction, and destroy all this stuff.
Going for my houses.
Yeah, let's see. Come on, big money. Cool shades, don't fail me now. Close enough. Destroyed some houses.
Get the 2 houses, but not my tower.
Not the tower. Well, if you had another turn to shoot me, that would be one thing, but... Sweet. So, let's see. I've got 2 houses and a tower. So... Towers 2. Houses are 3. Cool. Awesome. Well, let's go ahead and score our own individual sheets. I'll just time lapse this real quick so nobody has to hear us doing math. Cool.
Oh yeah, this my score here is not great.
Alrighty, so I'm
I
at
won.
70. I feel like
74 to 70 to 55.
Yeah.
Wow.
I got destroyed compared to
what were you at there, man?
compared to our last game, right?
Yeah.
I think last time we had a really high.
Yeah, I feel like the game went a little bit longer last time.
Yeah, it did.
Because I feel like we were all in like the 90s, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's see. Chris,
so
what did you get? You got 74? Ooh.
74, yeah. I definitely got lucky on my last turn. But there was one turn where I was able to score 4 points from drawing a house, and I was able to do that twice in the same turn. So I scored 8 points from the houses.
Nice.
So if you're watching this at home, sometimes your best move is not to fight or to build a tower. You can score a ton of points from the houses and the shops. And this is one of those interesting choices you want to make. When is it a good time to fight the dragon versus when is it a good time to draw the things that score you points, bearing in mind everyone can see what you just did and can probably build off of what you just built.
Yeah, that
And then
semi-co-op
also,
thing is interesting.
Exactly. So,
Thanks.
yeah, great game, very close game.
Yeah, pretty tight.
So that's Dragon versus Kingdom. And again, so give me a Kickstarter for a little while longer. And if you're catching this after the Kickstarter has ended, this will be available for sale once the backers have all gotten their game. And if you go to our website, noboxgames.com, you'll find it on sale there. And if you go to PNP Arcade, you'll find it there as well.
Very cool. Well, Chris, thanks for teaching the game and kind of working through this playthrough. Typically, the game does go a little bit quicker, but as we were just kind of demonstrating everything, I wanted to pop over to multiple pages at a time just so everybody can see kind of what's going on. But when you're playing, everybody knows what they're doing. It runs in 15 to 20 minutes or so, Chris? Is that about right?
Typically, yes. 2 to 5 players, 20 to 30 minutes, ages 8 and up.
Nice.
If you're playing this for the very first time, give yourself another 5 minutes for the teach.
That's fair. Cool.
Only other thing I wanted to point out was kind of like with the in the scoring section, just kind of like how that works. Because we have all these.
Oh, sure.
So I don't know if you want to,
yeah, I'll zoom in over here.
It's pretty intuitive, right? Where it's just each, you're writing when you're scoring for your towers, you're writing it in this section. Scoring for your house is writing in this section, and then whenever at the end of the game, you just transfer all that to the stars, and then same thing goes for everything you did as the dragon that goes here. So yeah, it's pretty. I don't know. It's pretty intuitive. It works out pretty good, and just keeping in mind that the end of the game, you score for everything you built and everything you destroyed.
Yeah, I have seen some people, they'll do a little divider line between the building and the attacking for the towers. But you're welcome to do it any way that you want. The tally marks can run into each other. It's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, pretty clean scoring system. Chris has done a really good job with streamlining everything with the design process. So awesome.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's Dragon versus Kingdom, y'all.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching, everyone.
Peace.
Bye.